Android users, you can now have TYT in the palm of your hand. Our TYT app is available for download in the Google Play Store. Just go to tyt.com/app to find out more. Donald Trump has lied several times about the Trump Tower meeting. So that is not conjecture anymore. Donald Trump has confirmed it. So if you like Donald Trump, I always ask, which Donald Trump? The one that was lying before, the one that admits that he was lying today. So I will give you the quotes, you can judge for yourself. But if you want to know what the Trump Tower meeting was, that was when Donald Trump Jr. got a note from a friend of his saying that there are Russian agents or people connected to the Russian government who would like to give you information about Hillary Clinton. And he said, I love it. I'll give you some details about that in a second, including that quote. And Donald Trump Jr., Jared Kushner, Paul Manafort, all attended the meeting. And now apparently Michael Cohen is saying that Donald Trump Sr. also knew about the meeting ahead of time. And of course, there's good evidence to that effect because a couple of days before the meeting, Donald Trump was on the campaign trail talking about how there's going to be damaging information coming out about Hillary Clinton soon. Gee, I wonder how he knew that. Now, back then, when this meeting was first discovered, Donald Trump Jr. put out a statement, but we now know it was dictated by Donald Trump. That's another admission. I'll give you the details so you're not confused about it in a second. But at the time, they had said, we primarily discussed a program about the adoption of Russian children that was active and popular with American families years ago. So when they're discovered, they say, oh, no, that was just about Russian adoption. Now, this weekend, Donald Trump Sr. admits that that was a lie. He says on Twitter, fake news reporting, a complete fabrication that I am concerned about the meeting my wonderful son Donald had in Trump Tower. So he's saying the fabrication is that he's concerned because he's not at all concerned. He goes on to say, this is the damaging part. This was a meeting to get information on an opponent, totally legal and done all the time in politics, and it went nowhere. I did not know about it. So let's note a number of things there. He just admitted it was not about the adoption. It was to get information against his opponent. That's not me saying it, that's Donald Trump saying it. So if you think that's fake news, take it up with Donald Trump, because apparently he's the one disseminating it. A complete admission, it was in fact to get dirt on Hillary Clinton. I told you that he would not get away with it because he is too stupid for a cover-up. Why would you admit that? He's so unbelievably unintelligent. So he's a lawyer's worst nightmare, going all around admitting things that he made up. So now his defense here is, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. You can just go get research done on your opponent by the Russians. No, you can't. That's taking money from a foreign government. That's illegal. Oops. And by the way, why did you write the last sentence? I did not know about it. I thought you said in the rest of the tweet that there was nothing wrong with the meeting. If there was nothing wrong with the meeting, why does it matter that you didn't know about it? It almost seems like you're trying to cover your ass. And by the way, you accidentally threw your son under the bus there, as well as yourself. So Jay Sekulow, his lawyer, had earlier said that that meeting was about adoption and not about getting dirt. So what does he say now? He told the Associated Press, Sekulow acknowledged that the public explanation for the meeting has changed, but insisted that the White House has been very clear with the special counsel's office. In other words, well, we've been clear with the special counsel, we didn't lie to them. We did lie to you guys. Our story has changed, he confirmed. So we'll get back to that in a second as well. So now, Jay Sekulow, back in the day, when he was asked not only what the meeting was about, but did the president himself dictate that note, had said the president was not involved in the drafting of that statement. Man, that is incredibly clear. When Sarah Huckabee Sanders was asked about it, she said he, quote, certainly didn't dictate that note. Now, here's something slightly inconvenient. Later, the New York Times reported the lawyers for Donald Trump acknowledged that Mr. Trump dictated a statement to the Times about the 2016 Trump Tower meeting between some of his top advisors and Russians who were said to have damaging information about Hillary Clinton. And in case you're a lunatic who thinks that the New York Times just makes things up, let me clarify for you. His own lawyers acknowledge and actually bragged about it to the New York Times. That's why it was in the New York Times. We sent a letter to the special counsel admitting that Donald Trump did dictate the note. So now that is two lies. One, they originally said we didn't dictate the note. Now they say, yeah, we're just kidding, we're lying. Donald Trump did dictate the note. Number two, originally they said it's not important. It was not about the campaign. It was just about adoption. Now they say, yeah, just kidding. It was not about adoption. It was about the campaign. And yes, it was to get damaging information about our opponent. And who's the genius who admitted that? Donald Trump himself this weekend. Moron of morons. Okay, I'm not done with him yet. So, well, are we sure that they knew that the information was coming from the Russians, which would make it illegal? Well, the note, the email sent to Donald Trump Jr. by Goldstone said that they have sensitive information that is, quote, part of Russia and its government support for Mr. Trump. Donald Trump Jr. responded to that by saying, quote, if it's what you say, I love it. They knew that it was from Russia. They knew that it was information that would help them. That is an in-kind contribution, as I'll explain in a second. That is an illegal attempt to accept information and an in-kind contribution from a foreign government. Thank you very much for proving the case before we even go to trial. Couldn't possibly do a cover-up. Way too stupid. His idea of a clever cover-up is, oh, I got it. And he once bragged about this. He's like, I'll call it a witch hunt. That'll get him. Oh, so dumb. Okay, back to the New York Times. The president's White House and legal advisors have said for the past year that misleading journalists is not a crime. Now get a load of that, because what does that tell you? They say, well, I mean, look, we lied to you, but that's not a crime. Lying to the special counsel would be a crime, but we didn't lie to the special counsel. We told them that we were lying to you, and this is the important part, the American people. So it's not a matter that's open to question anymore. These are his lawyers saying, yes, we lied to the media. So who's doing the fake news again? Here it is, them admitting they're the ones doing fake news. And when you lie to the media, it isn't about lying to the New York Times. It's about lying to Americans. You're the president of all of the United States of America. And here you are, you and your lawyers bragging about how you lie to Americans all the time. And their main defense is it's not a crime. Well, that's of course also not true. Lying overall to Americans is by itself is not a crime. Otherwise you'd have to put away all the politicians. But in this case, the collusion could be. So now we're back to his lawyer, Jay Sekulow. He says, the question is, what law, statute, or rule or regulation has been violated? And nobody has pointed to one. Well, Jay, no problem, can do. So let me go to the Associated Press again. They explained, but the legal experts have pointed out several possible criminal charges, including conspiracy against the United States and aiding and abetting a conspiracy. Federal campaign finance law makes it illegal for a campaign to accept a thing of value, such as a financial contribution from foreign nationals. Opposition research could be counted by investigators as a thing of value, experts have said. So they took time and money to get that, to do that research, in this case to steal the emails from the Democrats. And so giving that clearly has value. And they gave it over, obviously. In this meeting, they thought that the Trump team was going to receive that. They wound up making it public as well. So their only defense could be, it's not any of this stuff. Hey, we attempted to do something criminal, but then we realized they didn't have the goods. So we couldn't accept the stolen materials we were hoping to get, and we couldn't collude with the Russian foreign government that we were hoping to collude with. That would be their best defense. And boy, that's a crappy defense. Okay, here we go to one more campaign finance expert. Rick Hassa says the courts would have to consider the opposition research from Russian agents, quote, a thing of value for campaign finance purposes. Very, very clear. Now, after all this comes out, I'm wondering, are Trump's lawyers and aides going to say, I mean, he meant it. Yeah, of course. This is part of a secret strategy to admit that we're guilty in public. Because we're playing three-dimensional chess? No. CNN reports President Donald Trump has been urged to stop tweeting about the 2016 Trump Tower meeting between Trump's top advisors and several Russians. A source familiar with the discussions tells CNN. Washington Post confirms sources inside the White House saying, Mr. President, please stop tweeting. Why? Because of course, all it does is get him in trouble. This is why you don't put your guilty client on the stand. But here, he's taking the stand on a national stage and they can't stop him. So the other day, he admits obstruction of justice by asking the Attorney General to stop the investigation of himself. He says it publicly on Twitter. And now this weekend, he says, it wasn't about adoption. It was to get information about our opponent. I got him, didn't I? And his lawyers and all the aides are like, oh my God. Ugh. That's why his top two lawyers have already left the building. It was the case of their life. It would make their careers representing the president. They're like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. This guy's a hot mess. And by the way, he clearly did it. Two easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.